and faint coffee stains from her tuna temptation incident earlier. For my own purely cat-like curiosity, Mr. Dumpleton, from whom did you obtain this cosmic confluence compensation? Which temporal authority, which bureaucratic behemoth, bestowed this boon upon you? The northern nexus of natural reclamation, I believe it was called. Your sagaciousness. A bureaucratic labyrinth, indeed, but they eventually provided everyone in the affected temporal bubble, every individual displaced by the ethereal flames of Paradox Paradise, received 10,000 units, a universal payout for cosmic grief. So you, Mr. Dumpleton, received 10,000 units, Justice Ocelot stated, her voice even unblinking. A tidy sum, indeed, for an artist of obscure mediums, whose primary studio appears to be the inside of a nomadic RV. Right. And Miss Petal did too, for her being what energetically displaced from her parents' abode, experiencing the architectural trauma of a well-insured domicile, which was swiftly repaired and then sold for profit. No, no, Your Honor, my losses were unique. I experienced a total temporal business dissolution in the confluence. My art gallery, Dirk's dazzling dimensionalities, was located in Paradox Paradise itself. It was completely obliterated, a literal artistic inferno. Every single multidimensional canvas, every conceptual sculpture, gone. A lifetime of artistic endeavor reduced to temporal ash. Dirk wailed dramatically, clasping his hands to his heart. Paradox Paradise, the Justice mused, the name echoing eerily in the chamber, perhaps the very irony escaping Mr. Dumpleton, and that, you contend, was geographically separate from her parents' residence, the parents who simply repaired and sold, their abode apparently without a single missing mood ring. Right, completely distinct energetic coordinates. Her parents' abode was on the periphery. My gallery was in the very heart of the paradox, the epicenter of artistic destruction. And the name of this lost art gallery was Dirk's dazzling dimensionalities. It was truly ahead of its time. Dirk sighed, a profound, mournful sound, like the last tick of forgotten clock. But now, Your Prescient Highness, I operate out of my mobile dwelling concept unit. My gallery is where I park my RV. The address is 62. It's a fluid address. Your clarity changes with the gravitational pull of artistic inspiration and the demands of local parking, ordinances, and the occasional need for a public restroom. Justice Ocelot put a definite stop to this narrative stream, her claws tapping a sharp, metallic beat against her wooden bench. Let's temporarily reprioritize, Mr. Dumpleton, your personal existential narratives, your tales of creative wanderlust, and the subjective impact of lost art galleries, however tragically grand, are utterly irrelevant to the sober, impartial machinery of the Chronos courts. We deal in quantifiable legal facts here, Mr. Dumpleton, not existential meanderings or the tragically uncatalogued oeuvre of your multidimensional, creative output. If you wish to engage in philosophical discussions concerning the ephemeral nature of property and the subjective experience of temporal dislocation, I suggest you consult a time therapist, or perhaps attend a workshop by the famed Professor Simon SPHYNX at the Academy of Chronal. Contemplation. Here, Mr. Dumpleton, we dispense justice, not psychotherapy or artistic grants. She turned her gaze to Pippa, whose LED flowers were now blinking a muted, nervous blue, reflecting the subtle shift in Justice Ocelot's judicial temperament. And for the two of you, as we approach the next temporal subdivision of this convoluted litigation, who will articulate your arguments now. Ms. Petal, I trust you have composed your narrative with clarity, not poetic license. Pippa gave a delicate, dramatic gasp, almost tripping over a rogue coil of electrical cable protruding from the floor, an aesthetic affront in her chakra-lined world. I shall, Your Honor. I have prepared my counter-narrative. infused with clarity and self-care protocols. My intention is pure truth, untainted by emotional baggage. She cast a fleeting, anxious glance at Dirk, who was already composing an intricate apology gesture with his hands, clearly gearing up for another long speech of profound regret. "All right, fine," Justice Ocelot declared before Biff buffered. With a resounding thwack of his chrome gavel, boomed. Dirk, Drifter Dumpleton accuses his former companion, Pippa Poppy Petal, the shared genetic contributor of their progeny, Marigold, of orchestrating multiple energetic displacements and damaging his highly conceptual artistic assets. Pippa Poppy Petal, conversely, is accusing him of volatile kinetic engagement and various instances of temporal stalking and emotional terrorism, which she finds highly toxic to her energetic field. Justice Ocelot swiveled back to Dirk, her gaze like twin lasers of deep space inquiry, capable of burning holes through the fabric of illusion. "Let us pivot, Mr. Dumpleton, to your claim regarding the replacement value of damaged conceptual assets, as you undoubtedly surmised. My engagement with the preceding segments of your complaint has been, to put it mildly, less than intellectually stimulated. Detail these damaged assets and how, specifically, Ms. Petal engaged in their artistic dismemberment. Please, Mr. Dumpleton, eschew metaphor where concrete description suffices, and please try to limit your emotional output to, say, a gentle hum." Dirk's face lit up, sensing a more fertile ground for his particular brand of grievance. He produced another set of visual artifacts, these depicting vaguely recognizable household items. Now somewhat distressed, she performed a forceful temporal relocation of all my treasured creative components onto her outdoor observation platform. Your observantness. It was a ruthless, unprovoked act of artistic deaccession, a blatant disregard for my spiritual property rights. Creative components? Be specific, Mr. Dumpleton. Was it your experimental quantum resonance humidifier? Your collection of artisanal, petrified fungal growths from the Kronos underwoods? Or perhaps a pile of dirty laundry that you claimed was a commentary on entropy? My collection of vintage mood rings, each infused with unique emotional resonance. My collection of rare holographic disc sculptures, representing the multidimensional paradoxes of self and the fleeting nature of reality. And my most vital tool, my quantum leap computer. It contains all my unmanifested artistic visions, my life's work, every unfinished masterpiece. On what precise temporal marker did she enact this outdoor display of your creative essence? Did it coincide with a planetary alignment, a solar eclipse, or merely a sunny afternoon that seemed appropriate for yard work? The dates are fluid. Your precision, such mundane chronologies, are often lost in the maelstrom of emotional trauma and the vast ocean of artistic inspiration. She would know. She was the architect of the deaccession, the engineer of the outdoor exhibit. Her memory for such petty details is, I believe, disturbingly sharp. Dirk wrung his hands again, as if the burden of remembering had shattered his internal clockwork into tiny, ticking pieces. Very well, but tell me, Mr. Dumpleton, were your mood rings observed to be missing at the same chronological juncture as your quantum computer? Was the grief equally distributed across your material losses? Or did one wound sting more acutely? No, not initially the quantum computer. I had inadvertently left it within her temporal zone, intending to complete a collaborative multidimensional art project, a digital symphony of pixels and paradox. But then she included my computer with the rings. It was all saturated with the morning's condensed temporal mist, a true degradation of data integrity. It suffered irreversible temporal dampening. Yes, that was the same chronological juncture I discovered its digital anguish, a profound trauma to its circuitry. Dirk looked utterly distraught, as if the computer's digital pain was a physical entity he could feel, echoing within his own soul. Justice Ocelot turned to Pippa, a theatrical sigh escaping her lips. A sound not unlike air escaping a giant, ornamental bellows that had seen too much use.